Annalisa was ecstatic. Finally, she had beat cancer and she could now continue with her life. However, in September the same year, a look in the mirror confirmed her worst nightmare.
I noted a swelling on the cheek. A swelling, it's a node, a swelling on the cheek. So when I went to see the doctor, he felt it, but he told me to wait because the blood picture was not bad. And that time I had gone back to school. I was doing that pediatric course. So he told me to wait, and he also advised me to continue monitoring the blood levels because the platelets were not bad. So then I noted that it had come to the other side. So it was on both sides bilaterally, and they were becoming bigger with the time, and they developed in different other places on the armpit. Then I noted there were some lumps on the breast, and I was taken to theater again. It was removed, and it was taken to lab, and it confirmed that the disease was back. So I was told now that I prepare myself to do chemotherapy, but he also told me that if you do chemotherapy only, it will not help because the disease will still come back. So I was still negotiating. It was not an easy thing because I had done chemotherapy for 2.5 years. So I took a lot of time. I was telling the doctor I still need to pray because he was telling me that if I start the chemotherapy is that I was to get this time was a strong medicine. So he was telling me that even if I give you this, you need to go for bone marrow transplant once the swellings subsides or goes down. So it was not easy for me to make that decision. I didn't have money at that time, and I was also in school, so I kept saying that I dropped from university the other time. I couldn't go back because of the disease. Now this is another time it has come back, and the course was only going for 1 year. So I told God he has to help me finish at least this course.
Annalisa was determined to continue with her education, and in between hospital visits and classrooms, she passed her examinations in 2014. The following year in May, she decided to go through with a stronger dose of chemo. It was horrible. The chemo would be done for 4 days, but the side effects would make her bedridden and admitted in hospital for several months due to her low immunity.
I have accumulated a lot of money in the hospital, and I have a large bill of 1.5 million to pay. In addition to that, we've tried looking for money because now I need to go for bone marrow transplant in India, and we've gotten 2 million. And I've tried to talk to the doctors in India, and they have accepted to start the procedure because even when I go there, I need to be given more chemotherapy in preparation to receive the new organ. I'm also thanking God because He's given me a donor. My sister has sacrificed and she has agreed to give me the bone marrow, her bone marrow. So as we speak, the doctors there have accepted me to go with the 2 million as I look for more money. But they also said that if I go there and then maybe I don't get this other 2 million, the procedure might be stopped. Yeah, because it's a long procedure.
Annalisa's life has changed drastically since she was diagnosed with leukemia. She's unable to do most basic things that a healthy person does.
One of the side effects of chemotherapy, as I've told you, the platelets go down when you're getting the chemo. And when they go down, you are at a very high risk of bleeding. So like if you get any cut, even if it's very small, you can easily bleed to death. Or even when you are brushing, that's why patients are advised to use soft brush, or even you don't brush, you just try to wipe or to gargle.
When you notice anything unusual, just get checked, because Most cancers are not painful. You don't feel pain at all. Pain is a late symptom. For example, when it's causing pressure to the surrounding organs or when it has busted. So don't wait for that stage.
Since the bone marrow transplant is not available in Kenya, the cheapest alternative is India, where the procedure goes for approximately 4 million shillings. Annalisa was able to raise 2 million shillings, and the doctors in India agreed to start the treatment with that amount. However, they will stop if she fails to raise the balance of 2 million shillings.
I still feel that it's not my time to go or to give up. Yeah, so if I could get this money to do this procedure, I know that I can still come back and serve Kenyans.
One of the biggest challenges facing many cancer patients in the country is a financial burden. It is estimated that every year Kenyans spend 8 billion shillings in seeking cancer treatment in foreign countries. The National Hospital Insurance Fund does not cover cancer treatment, leaving the poor at the mercy of the disease.
When one is diagnosed to have cancer, the whole family is like disabled because it is very, very expensive. And I believe that it's expensive for everyone because the cost of treatment is very high, and some of the treatment that are supposed to be given to the patients are not even available in Kenya. For example, radiotherapy, it is available in Kenya, but there are so many people who are requiring this radiotherapy. So maybe the government should provide those machines in different stations, because it's available in Kenyatta, it's available in MP Shah, and maybe in other areas. There are some people who are not able to reach it, or they have to wait for so long because there are so many patients on the queue. Now, something like I would advocate for the bone marrow. Bone marrow transplant. It's not available locally, and they're outside, they're asking for a lot of money, which I believe not many people would afford. If you don't have an insurance, you won't afford. So I would urge the government to maybe create centers in Kenya that because I believe our doctors have the knowledge. If there are such centers in Kenya, the patients will be treated aloud, and maybe the cost will be cheaper. Then the things to do with insurance. Once you are diagnosed with a chronic disease, it is very hard to get insurance. Yes. And if you happen to get one, it is very, very expensive, and they will only cater for a very small fee.
34-year-old Annalisa Njoki, shortly after our interview, traveled to India to seek treatment. Her sister is the donor. However, Annalisa doesn't have enough funds to cater for the full treatment. She's asking Kenyans to help her. Last year, Health CS James Macharia said the government was in talks with investors to alleviate the high cost of cancer treatment and increase the number of cancer treatment centers. Research states that at least 28,000 new cases of cancer are diagnosed in Kenya each year. The Economic Survey 2014 shows that registered deaths from cancer in 2013 stood at 13,720. The government, however, stated that 7 people died daily from this disease, which translates to 25,550 deaths. Due to the alarming figures, the government has announced plans to set aside 3.4 billion shillings each year to support cancer diagnostics in the country. The Ministry of Health will distribute the amount in the next 10 years to tackle the increased cases. The country currently has a total of 17 oncologists, according to the Kenyatta National Hospital's Cancer Unit's report. Najma Ismail for The Old Woman.